I'm Weston. I love talking about the Rangers, and this is going to be a long night. I'm talking about Game 55 of the regular season. I'm talking about Pavel Buchnevich, and I'm talking about the firing of our general manager and team president. So there's a lot to get into because this game was so short. I was going to make these two separate things, probably three, but given the game was basically nothing, I'm just going to make it all one nice big video that you can watch in hopefully like 15 minutes or so. So first things first, Rangers fired team president and our general manager. So both Jeff Gorton and John Davidson have been fired. Now, I don't have anything at its root wrong with this, right? I like who we picked to come in and fill the role. I'm good with that. I wasn't exactly happy with the management that we've had with our general manager. I thought most of the things that he's done, he sort of lucked into. Panarin could have had more money if he wanted, by all rights, to go to the Islanders, but chose to come to the Rangers because he liked us as a franchise. The Kakko and Lafreniere picks are as lucky as it can get because you literally won the draft lottery. And you can look at some other things. The Trouba deal, while I still like Jacob Trouba a lot, and I'm still a fan of him on the Rangers, that contract has looked pretty rough. I'm fine with him getting fired, right? I'm okay firing both of these guys. That's not my issue. My issue is, why are you doing it now? Like, why not wait, 5 days? Why not wait a week until the season for the Rangers, at the very least, is over with? You could even wait, do it Sunday. Do it Sunday morning. Do it Saturday after the game. Doing it now just makes you look like a discombobulated franchise, and I wasn't a big fan of when we did it. I'm not upset at the move itself. I'm upset that we waited till this moment. Like, if you wanted to fire them because they said this has been coming for a long time, why didn't you do it before the season? Why didn't you do it, in like 5 days when the season would be over and you wouldn't look like you're just a bunch of weirdos that are firing a guy for given, like, literally no real reason. It just looks kind of weird. Now, the next thing is the Pavel Buchnevich thing. So Pavel Buchnevich cross-checked a Capital in the face and today got a 1-game suspension. So, in a vacuum, I'm perfectly fine with this. I thought he kind of got off easy in a vacuum. That was a pretty, vicious cross-check. And I think a game suspension is more than fair. I have no issue with that in a vacuum. However, we don't live in a vacuum. Now, I am not saying in any way, shape, or form that what Pavel Buchnevich did is justified. We had made our point. That was not necessary. He could have stopped. He didn't have to do that. I'm not ecstatic that he did that. And I wished he hadn't. I'm not excusing it in any way. He did something that was very wrong, and he got punished for it, rightfully so. My issue is, you have this happen a night after Tom Wilson pulls his stunt. So you're saying that the cross-check is worse than a punch to the back of a neck of a person who is down on the ice while you have your stick wrapped around the front of his neck, and then body slamming Panarin twice head first with his helmet off into the ice. That's what you're saying. It's maddening that this now genuinely seems like the NHL just is going to pick and choose what they want to do. That's all it seems like. And all the people that are saying, oh, what are you complaining about? Now viewership was up 390% for that game yesterday. What? That's not worth it. The people that are saying that this whole incident was, a good thing for hockey because it got a lot of eyes on the league. It didn't get a lot of eyes on the league because they thought, oh, wow, this is going to be really cool because they're going to fight him. They got the eyes on the league because they're like, wow, he got away with that and the league didn't punish him? Really? We're not getting good eyes on the league. They're not looking at us because we're interesting or good. They're looking at us because it's a complete clown show. They're looking at the clown car holding Gary Bettman and the head of player safety, George Peros. They're looking at them like the two clowns with rainbow wigs on in the clown car. That's what's happening. They're not looking at them in a Maserati thinking, wow, that's pretty neat. They're looking at them and making jokes about them. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that people think it's good to, just potentially end two players' careers because, hey, ratings are ratings, baby boy. That's ridiculous. And I forgot where I started with this. Like, the Pavel Buchnevich thing is fine. I'm okay with him getting punished. But it just really looks stupid that you're now punishing a player because of a reaction to another player beating him up. That's my issue with it. So, that news out of the way. On to the game tonight, right? On to the main event for the night, the game. This was horrible. It was embarrassing. And I'm not totally surprised. The Rangers played about how you expect. Like, this was just a bad game for the Rangers. We had 15 shots on goal. And for reference, the perfection line of Parise Bergeron, David Pastrnak, and Brad Marchand had 9 shots on goal. So we barely outshot their top line, which should tell you everything you need to know. But again, I'm not shocked that a game like this happened. Like, it sucks. I'm not happy about it. But look at the team. Look at the Rangers right now. And, like, look at what we had to deal with. I'm going to read you all of the scratches for this game really quickly so you can understand how many players were out. Pavel Buchnevich, Artemi Panarin, Brett Howden, Julien Gauthier, Jacob Trouba, Ryan Lindgren, and Chris Kreider. Like, we're out so many players. And there's a few more, But those are big players. Those are relevant players. You might say, well, Brett Howden isn't that great. And I would say, yeah, he isn't. But, at least he's played quite a few games in the NHL opposed to some of the Wolfpack members who are coming up for their debuts. That's the difference. Like, you're missing, a lot of your top guys. You're missing 3 of your top 6 forwards. You're missing 2 of your top 4 defensemen. And realistically, probably 2 of your top 3 defensemen, because I would still put Trouba ahead of Miller at this point. And then you're matching up against the Bruins, who are a very good team, who might end up being the 2nd seed in the East at this point. I certainly don't think they're going to be the 4th. And you're putting them on ice in TD Garden. Like, this is going to happen. The Rangers played poor defense. They played poor offense. And they couldn't generate shots. We didn't have double-digit shots on goal till, 5 to 10 minutes left is about, I think, where they got it. I think there was at least 50 minutes gone before they finally got double-digit shots. And that's not going to win you anything. Like, this was a bad game, and while I didn't think Shesterkin did good, I have a hard time really giving him any grief. The first 2 goals were just guys that were left basically wide open. Parise Bergeron got the first one, and the 4 Rangers nearest to him were just sort of puck watching at that point. The McAvoy goal was just left wide open. The Jake DeBrusk goal, he got a breakaway. And the Carlo goal, that was just a weird, tip-in that went off of Shesterkin's pad. But, 3 of the 4 are just the team as a whole defensively playing really poorly. This was a bad game for the Rangers top to bottom, and it sucks because this is the second to last game of the year. This is where I'm watching every second. I want to get as much Rangers hockey as I can in before the season's over with. And we watched this. This is just a complete blowout, an embarrassment, a dismantling by the Boston Bruins. And it sucks. I don't want to talk about games like this. I want to talk about fun games that are at the very least close, and interesting. This wasn't interesting. And this wasn't even one of those bad blowouts that I can yell about. This wasn't, some games that I've been able to yell about on this channel. Good reference is basically any of the Jets games that I was able to yell about because they were embarrassing losses. This isn't even embarrassing in a I can get angry way. This was just this team has most of their top players gone. They're missing 50% of their top 6 forwards, and they're missing 66% of their top, 3 defensemen. And the rest of the players just look like they're flat out of gas, mostly because they've been having to have, shoulder large workloads the past few games. And so I'm not even mad. You look at the lineup for the Rangers that they put in against such a good team, and all I can think of is, I wasn't expecting to win. I was kind of expecting to lose badly, and that's exactly what happened. A 15-save shutout for Boston, and that's it. This game was depressing. There's no other way to put it. We play Saturday at 3 o'clock, and that is our last game of the season. And then probably Monday, I'm going to make a season recap and talk about why I view the season as a success or a failure. Spoiler alert, even with these last few games that have been horrifying, I still view it as a success. And Saturday, I'm hoping we give Georgiev the start because Shesterkin doesn't deserve to be put out there again, to be just hung out to dry like he has been. Granted, Georgiev doesn't deserve it either, and neither does Kincaid, but someone's got to do it, and I feel fine splitting the last, 4 games between Shesterkin and Georgiev. So that's all I have to say. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Rangers.